My name is Harold Jarkey, and this presentation is a continuation of the themes discussed previously in Network, Learning to Work Anew. It is inspired by the many conversations I've had over the past year with my colleagues at the Internet Time Alliance. Wired Work is about the changes in the relationship between workers, organizations, and how work gets done as we become more interconnected. The Internet has made the traditional hierarchical organization, with few at the top and many at the bottom, a slow and redundant model in a time of unlimited information, distributed work, and digital artifacts that are not controlled by their creators, but by people's interactions with them. One manifestation of these artifacts is a social media. In the previous presentation, I discussed the Cynefin framework. This matrix highlights the observation that in complex environments, networks are the optimal social organizing structure. I would argue that work environments are becoming more complex. To manage in complexity, we need to develop emergent work practices, as opposed to predetermined ones. The best way for people to work together is to cooperate. Cooperation differs from collaboration in that work group members are free to act, come, and go. This makes it almost impossible to be directive, but this is how most of our existing workplaces are structured, with bosses, supervisors, and managers. Incorporating the voluntary aspects of cooperation in our work will be like moving from a monarchy to a democracy, messy but empowering, and in the long run, more dynamic. Practices will have to emerge to address the changing demands of an interconnected economy and society. Wirearchy is an organizational framework developed by John Husband 10 years ago. Wirearchy is a dynamic, two-way flow of power and authority based on knowledge, trust, credibility, and a focus on results enabled by interconnected people and technology. Let's break that down. A two-way flow of power and authority changes the top-down patriarchal nature of our predominant management models. Traditionally, bosses have told their direct reports what to do. But in many cases, networked workers know more about an issue than their supervisors. There is no time to get the boss up to speed, so authority has to be driven down. Actually, there's no more up and down. More work relationships are sideways, with give and take by all parties. In a wirearchy, work relationships are based on knowledge, trust, and credibility. This makes it even more important to share and be transparent in our work, so that our colleagues can ascertain our competence. Trust is built through shared activities, many of them separated by time or space via our networks. A focus on results levels the playing field for all. We are the sum of our achievements as a group. A results-oriented work environment, or ROWE, is an example of this. All of this is enabled by interconnected people and technology. We can connect with almost anyone at any time and anywhere. Now we have to figure out what to do with this unprecedented power to communicate. The Wirearchy framework gives us a way to advance our organizations. Fred Cavazza's social media landscape provides a good example of the wide array of the ways that we can now express ourselves, network, share, and play online. It's largely through conversation that we learn at work, and all of these social media can be used as conversation accelerators and help us get things done. In less complex environments, we would document best practices and train for the tasks needed at work. This functioned with mechanistic factories based on mass production, but many businesses are moving to mass customization, or something different for everyone. With growing complexity in our work, we use more tacit knowledge, or the kinds of knowledge that are too contextual to be documented. We pass on tacit knowledge through conversation and apply it through collaborative work. The process of sharing knowledge through conversation and working collaboratively to build emergent practices is what the Wirearchy framework enables. It is a dynamic two-way flow of power and authority based on knowledge, trust, credibility, and a focus on results enabled by interconnected people and technology. I'd like to thank John Husband for the many conversations we've had over the past 6 years on the subject of wired work, complexity, the web, and new models for business.